Hello, hello. It is day 10, May 2nd, 2024. Um, 10 days now on this journey of suspending disbelief and trusting in my inevitable success. So, today I have a few things that I want to share with you. First of all, for anyone who is wondering or noticed, I don't even know how it shows up on all the platforms, so it may not even be noticeable. But I decided to start May with yesterday's episode as a second season. So, what I'm going to do is just each month I'll start a new season just because that will kind of give some structure to it if anybody is ever wanting to go back and look at like when, if they have an idea of something that they want to go back to, they can have an approximate idea of where in 365 episodes, because that's a lot, right? Where to look. So, for any of you who are wondering, that is why I did that. And it was a spur of the moment thing. I just, again, following the nudges, right? And it made perfect sense once I thought it through. So today I have a few, most of it is just really, really positive. I was listening to Jess's messages on Telegram today, and I'm blown away. So for any of you who may be coming in partway through here or haven't heard all the previous episodes, Jess decided to do a Telegram channel to do a very similar thing to what I'm doing. And of course, I didn't write down the name. It is, of course, I'm not going to remember. Nope. Maybe it will come to me. Anyways, I was listening to it and I'm blown away by her goals for the year. Okay. I was listening and I was just like, wow, man, this girl dreams big. So I am super impressed. Cannot wait. Love hearing about her taking action already and all of that. So I'm going to, and I have before, but I'm going to drop the link to her Telegram channel for any of you who want to go and follow along her journey. No, it's still not coming. Anyway, okay. I will drop that because, yeah, again, just super, super impressed. I also wanted to share a couple of things that I'm doing differently. So, one, I mentioned yesterday how my guides had told me that I need to be going to bed by 10. So, here I am. It's 9 o'clock. So, I am like nice and right on time here. I'm not behind tonight. I made the decision last night to go back to a habit which I had before and was super powerful and helpful for me, and which I haven't been doing for a really long time. I fell out of the habit. It's really easy to do, and I'm sure many of you can identify with this. But the habit that I am reintroducing in my life is reading a book before bed instead of being on my screen. So, a lot of the time lately, I have fallen into this habit of like, I will watch an episode of something, or I will like watch a card reading on YouTube, or I will catch up on a replay of something or whatever. Sometimes even continuing to work up until I'm like almost ready to go to bed, which is directly against all of the things that I ever teach. So I don't know why I'm doing it. I always tell people not to do this. So I am being more real with myself, being more honest with myself, right? Being like, you're not sticking to the things that you know help make you successful, right? So I'm making these changes intentionally. Again, the intention is the biggest part throughout this whole challenge, throughout this whole experiment, right? Is keeping up with the intentions. So I am going to be reading before bed instead of being on a screen for at least half an hour off of my screens before I go to sleep, before lights out. But I am actually going to aim for more than that. 1 to 2 hours is great, but I also know that that's really tough for me. I have young kids at home, and I have a smallish window from when they go to bed to when I go to bed. So sometimes I really like to utilize the quiet once they're in bed for me to get things done. Um, that I struggle to during the day, especially if I'm having a harder time focusing, say, and I need to write something and I just haven't been able to get into a stream of consciousness kind of mode with the noise and distractions all day. So sometimes I will tend to do that, but I am going to put more intention behind what I'm doing, making sure that it's really necessary to be on that screen at that time, and taking, like, turning them off no matter what 30 minutes before bed, before I want to have lights out, which I'm aiming for 10 p.m. And 10 p.m., again, like I said yesterday, is really early for me, but I also know that I've been more tired lately with all of the energetic upgrades, with all of that. So I think that this is a temporary thing, probably, that my guides are telling me, like, you need this extra sleep right now. And I know that it will benefit me. So I'm going to do my best. So reading instead of a screen before bed, which will also, with that bedtime, make it easier for me to get up in the morning, do things in the morning before my kids are awake. Which again, like, that just spills into the nighttime, right? Where then I don't have those things to do on a screen before bed. So working on that, getting back into that old habit of mine. I started reading Women Who Run with the Wolves last night, and just loving it already. I didn't even get through the intro before I was so tired. I actually fell asleep really quickly. So I love this method of falling asleep with a book instead of the screens keep you awake, right? Even if you turn off the blue light or turn on the yellow light or whatever, so that it's not so bad, it still has that effect. I also took action. Again, just the intro of that book really got me inspired and really got me, like, back into it relit my spark a little bit of, like, I really want to get on launching. So I've had this mastermind on the brain for quite a while now, and had it mostly mapped out and ready to go, and haven't started posting about it. Now I also set my May intentions today. And at the end of the night last night, and made some money goals and all of that kind of thing. And I actually launched this mastermind. So like I said, I had it, like, mostly ready to go. So I finished it up and started launching it today. Now I haven't, like, fully launched it, but I did start launching it. And I'm super, super, super excited about that. And I feel like it's so, so aligned with everything else. And again, my success is inevitable. So, oh, haha, that helped. Okay. So listening to Jess's thing, it is called Inevitable Dreams, I believe. Maybe I'm not even getting it right, but I think that's what it's called. Anyways, we'll drop that link. Now, yeah, so I launched my mastermind today. I'm super excited about it, and absolutely feel like it's in alignment with the big dreams that I have for the 1 year mark. I also did want to mention that I am going to be revamping my script. Now, some of you may be like, okay, it's been 10 days, you're already changing things. But what I'm actually going to do is just dive a little bit deeper in it, dig more into the feelings in it, dig more into, like, how I want my life to feel at that point, rather than, like, the specific, okay, I want to have this running, I want that working, I want, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. I'm not really changing the outcomes. I just want to get more into detail about it. And another thing which I'm going to be adding into my routines is actually doing, like, just reviewing my script every morning. I want to read over it every morning just to keep it super fresh in my mind, and then go, okay, this is what I am achieving by April 23rd, 2024. What am I doing today? what's my step on the way to that today? And I just want to bring that in as like a habit of making sure that my focus is on track and everything each day. And then very, very last thing that I want to share, and this is actually not from today. I believe it was yesterday, but it could have even been the day before. Kelly actually was telling me she was listening to my podcast when she got out of her vehicle, I believe. And then when she got back in the next time, it came back on, right? And there was some thing with the Bluetooth and it skipped and whatever. And what came on when mine went off was a Mel Robbins podcast, which she had saved to listen to, but never listened to, I believe she said. And she ended up listening to it at that point because she felt it was very aligned and everything. Now, if any of you know me, you know that I absolutely adore Mel Robbins. And that one of my like big, more selfish long-term goals, not selfish, but just it's more like just for me rather than for other people, is to speak on stage with Mel Robbins. That is one of my biggest dreams. Like I would die to achieve, right? That's melodramatic, but you know what I mean. I just absolutely look up to her so much. And it reminded me of a while back when Kelly actually released her book, and she sent a picture of her book and the position it was in, like number whatever on the list. I mean, I know she hit number one in a few categories, but there was her book and there was Gabby Bernstein's book. And one of her long-term big dreams was to have her book be on the shelf beside Gabby Bernstein's book. Now, she was thinking physical, and there it was virtual, right? And we celebrated that hard because we were like, that is so cool. Like your book is right next to it. She took a picture of it, whatever. And it just reminded me of that so much. And I was like, you know what? I want to speak on stage with Mel Robbins. That's my dream. And here I am, my podcast was on, and then hers came on next. And I just really think I thought of that and I was just like, that is super cool. It was like I was on a virtual stage with Mel Robbins. We both were speaking next to each other. And I just thought, that is incredible. Thank you, universe. Like, more of that, please. I love it. So, celebrating that, because I think it is just so cool. And maybe a lot of people will think that's super cheesy, but I think it's amazing. And so I celebrated it. Yeah. And I think that was all that I had wanted to share for today. The only real challenges that are coming up for me are more to do with other people. And this may be something that comes up for you, so maybe I should mention it. I'm finding that this challenge, this experiment is really up leveling me quite quickly. Like it is energetically raising the bar very, very quickly. And I know that this is also in combination with some other things that are going on, like again, astrology and all of this stuff. There's always so many things, right? And I do know that that's the case. But I am finding that some people are not triggering me. I'm triggering them is more that it's like people are more bothered by me, or people are more easily set off by me, it feels like. And I am attributing that to my vibration rising, therefore being more out of alignment with some of the other people around me. So nothing major has developed with that yet. I'm just starting to notice hints of it. And so I did think, like I would like to mention this and just say, if this is happening to you, and I know this from experience, that if this is happening to you, take take it with like don't take it personally. Um, because what's actually happening there is that when your vibration moves away from the level of vibration that the people around you or the people that have been around you are in, what happens is they feel that difference. They have no idea why. They don't like it's nothing that you do or say in particular, but they can feel almost like you're pulling away from them. And it's like this distancing. And so they revolt against it a little bit without even being aware. Um, and this is a fairly gradual process, but I noticed it quite quickly because this isn't the first time I've done like a major up level in a very short period of time, right? So for me, I've experienced these things before. I know what to watch for, and I just thought that I would share that piece that like if you start noticing people are being a little short with you, if you start noticing that maybe they're ignoring you a little bit, or if they are more short with you, um, try to lead with kindness, try to be extra forgiving, try to take things in a non-personal way. Realize that they're feeling the disparity between where they are vibrationally and where you are vibrationally. And if you check in with yourself and you're like, no, like I'm still being kind, I'm still being considerate, I'm still being me, right? And they are bothered by you in that state, it's because your vibration is rising and you no longer match with them. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to lose everybody out of your life. Sometimes it's just a little bit of an adjustment period, and then there's a new dynamic in the relationship. Sometimes it is, sometimes people do fall out of our lives, and that is just a natural part of life. And actually, if you release the resistance around it, it doesn't always end up being very painful. It sounds like it would be something painful, but it doesn't always end up being very painful. And then sometimes it can be painful, but it is always in our highest good, right? It is always like the right people at the right times. Like I am always in the right place at the right time, right? That belief that we're keeping right now. Keep that in mind. Keep that my success is inevitable and I'm always in the right place at the right time mentality, and include in that the right people will stay. They'll find a way to stay. Um, and when you keep that in mind and you keep that positive spin on it, you actually tend to be able to find solutions that keep the right people in your life, right? So, and they will find solutions also to stay in your life. Um, so it can be frightening. Try to stay positive with it. Try to always lead with love, right? Always come at it from that angle of they're not trying to hurt you, you're not trying to hurt them. Love everybody anyways, kind of a mentality can be really, really helpful. That was totally unplanned, so hopefully it helps somebody. But I have started to notice that a little bit. I also tend to notice when that same thing is happening, my children will be extra difficult. Okay. And now this is again, especially with our kids, actually, I find like they feed so much off of our vibe, right? That they tend to be in the mood we're in. But when you have a big shift, it's like they get whiplash, right? They're like, what just happened? Who are you? What's happening? What do I do? How do I behave? And they kind of lose track of where they're supposed to be. So be extra patient with them and give it a little bit of space, right? Give it some time for them to adjust, to catch up with you, and that patience will help. And also give yourself a little bit of grace if you lose patience a little because you're like, I'm feeling so good and you guys are being jerks, right? And that's kind of I did get hit that point at one point tonight where I was just like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, why are you being so difficult? And then very quickly I was able to be like, oh yeah, right. Because I'm like, we're flying, we're high vibing, we're happy, and my kids are like, hello, we've been out in the world miserable and you're just like excited. What's wrong with you? Right. So it's helping them to catch up to my level kind of thing. And that um, it just does take a little bit of time. So definitely been experiencing that a little bit as well. And yeah, that is what I've got for you guys today. Hopefully some of that was helpful for somebody. And all around, I would just say, like, I'm really feeling the uplifting kind of energy from this whole thing. I'm really feeling this consistent upwards spiral, this growth and this like expansive feeling. So hopefully anyone who's coming along with us, doing this along with us, is feeling that as well. Is starting to feel like that hope, that trust that like, yeah, this is just going to keep on getting better and better. And my life is incredible and everything is amazing and my success is inevitable. Right? So, all right, I will talk to you all tomorrow.